The keyword for this character is second, as in second place or a B on a test. They'll actually write this on a test paper if you get a B. And you might be thinking, wait a second, you guys, why are you teaching us a character that means second? Is this really a high-frequency character? Well, in and of itself, no, but take a look at the character. Can you see how this might be an elemental character in Chinese? As a matter of fact, the next several characters we learn are going to use this shape as a prop. So that's why we're learning it. With that in mind, let's think about second. What do you associate with second? Well, second place means a silver medal. Maybe you imagine a giant silver medal. Perhaps you imagine a person wearing a silver medal on that Olympic platform that has first place, second place, third place. That's always an option as well. Perhaps you were a straight A student in elementary school and one day you got a B and it broke your heart and your parents were mad at you or something like that. Certainly not me, but a few past students had that situation. Whatever your association is with the keyword, once you have it, that's how your script's going to end, and let's go ahead and set the scene. So this is our third time being in the living room or the bedroom of your childhood home. Previously we were there for wu, meaning noon. That would have been a fictional actor. Then we did it for zhi, which means only, and that would have been a male. This time it's yi, so it'll be a female actor. So now that we've been here a couple of times, there's not too much need to go over it again. Maybe see if you notice a detail or two that you didn't notice the last time. But go ahead and bring in your actor now. So you're looking at the living room, you're looking at the bedroom of your childhood home, and into the frame walks your YI actress. Now, you get the idea. When it's the first time that you've used one of these actors, take a look at them. What's their facial expression? What are they wearing? It's curious to see what your brain naturally gives them. But the next thing you might want to ask yourself is this person likely to be in my childhood home? If it was a childhood friend of yours, then maybe it's not so weird. But in that case, maybe you have some actual memories from that room with that friend. But what if it's somebody like a celebrity? What if it's Yoko Ono? What is she doing there? The feeling that comes along with that, what are you doing here, is very helpful to making the scene memorable. So consider that, and let's bring in the props. So your two props here are a razor blade and a hook. And for me, right off the bat, I'm going, okay, these are two props that could potentially instigate some type of violence, right? But even if they don't, a hook can like grab someone or pull them back, which we'll use in the next script, or a razor blade could cut something off even if it's not necessarily a violent thing. So let's bear that in mind and shoot the scene. As you walk into the living room or the bedroom of your childhood home, you notice that there is an Olympic podium with 3 Olympians standing on top of it, first, second, and third place. They're all wearing medals, and they all seem to be glowing. It doesn't really matter what they look like, the details are unimportant, because what happens next is that a razor blade comes flying through the room, and it hits the second place contestant in such a way that he falls down and goes down on one knee. He's really hurt, he needs some medical attention. And suddenly a hook comes from off screen and pulls him off of the second place podium. Turns out the person who threw the razor blade and used the hook to pull him off was your YI actress, who now takes his place on the podium and is beaming with pride as she puts on her silver medal. Scene. The new key point for this character is related to troubleshooting. So if you're struggling to come up with creative ideas, one of the things you can do is time box. But just before I get into time boxing, I want to point out a couple of other key points that we mentioned previously that happened in this scene. So first of all, the props were used based on what they actually do. A razor blade can cut someone, and a hook can pull someone off stage. It's something that we've seen in a lot of cartoons or movies, perhaps. So that's the first one. And then the second one is that because our keyword connection was so clear right from the beginning, you see, oh, this has something to do with placement, because we know about the Olympics, and then by focusing on the second place person, we then make it clear that the meaning is second. So now let's talk about this new time boxing troubleshooting idea. So sometimes you're struggling to come up with an idea, and it's just because your brain is a little bit tired. Happens to all of us. So the idea here is that if you box your time, if you say, okay, I'm just going to learn characters for a 10-minute block, and then I'm going to take a little 2-minute break. What am I going to do during that 2-minute break? look at WeChat, check my email, answer a phone call, whatever. But then after that 2-minute break, you turn all your notifications back off and you focus for 10 minutes. And maybe even you do character learning for 10 minutes and then you do vocabulary learning for 10 minutes after the 2-minute break. However you do it, this has been scientifically shown to give your brain a chance to unconsciously process what you've gone over before and not overwhelm it with constant new information. You're interval training your breaks and you're interval training your focus is another way to think of it. So it's really effective. I use it all the time, and I would highly recommend time boxing if you're ever feeling like you're out of energy.